All right, so let's jump right into this RateGain Q2FY25 earnings call transcript.
Yeah, really interesting stuff here.
We want to figure out what their numbers tell us about the future of travel tech.
Definitely a goldmine of information.
Yeah, I think so.
So, RateGain, they're a global player, right?
Right. They offer software solutions
To a whole travel industry.
Yeah.
From hotels to airlines, you name it.
This earnings call was their chance to tell us their plan.
Yeah, lay it all out.
Exactly.
And I think the big headline here is that they're doing well.
Okay.
Record revenue growth across all their business segments.
Sounds good.
But there's also some tension there.
Okay.
They talked about losing a significant client, and they're facing some pricing pressure.
So record revenue, but losing a client.
Right.
Those seem to contradict each other.
It's all in the details.
Okay.
We need to break it down into their three main business segments to really understand.
Okay.
So those segments are data and analytics, which they call DASH, distribution,
All right.
and marketing. Okay.
Dash first. Then what's the big picture with Dash?
DASH is all about data.
Okay.
Turning raw data into actionable insights for travel companies.
Insights like
Trends, pricing,
Right.
all that stuff.
Gotcha.
And it's attracting a lot of different clients.
Such as?
Like airlines,
Okay.
online travel agencies,
Interesting.
even car rental companies.
So everybody wants to be data-driven.
Exactly.
Okay. Makes sense.
And then there's distribution,
Right.
which is basically connecting hotels with travel sellers to reach a wider audience.
Gotcha.
And they're seeing a lot of growth in this segment,
Okay.
particularly with their RevMax platform.
What is RevMax?
It's a good question.
Keeps coming up.
It's basically a bundled solution for hotels to manage how they sell their rooms across different platforms.
So like a one-stop shop.
You got it.
Makes sense.
And it's clearly gaining some traction.
And then lastly, there's marketing.
All right. Marketing, or MK, right?
MK. Yep.
MK.
This is all about helping travel companies
Okay.
run successful marketing campaigns,
Especially in the digital space.
especially in the digital space. You got it.
So social media, stuff like that.
Exactly. And they have this product called Demand Booster,
Okay.
which has been really successful.
What does Demand Booster do?
Focuses on maximizing return on investment for digital ad spending.
I see.
So that's been a big hit for them.
Seems like RateGain is all about giving travel companies these powerful tools
Yeah, making things simple for them.
in a nice package deal.
Yeah. They even mentioned this new AI voice module for RevMax.
Oh, yeah. What about that?
That could be a game changer.
How so?
Well, if hotels can automate more of those customer interactions, then their staff can focus on higher value tasks.
Yeah, that's smart.
Smart move by RateGain.
Yeah.
It plays into this bigger trend we're seeing with them,
Which is,
playing the long game.
they haven't made any big flashy acquisitions lately.
Right, yeah.
But they are emphasizing that they're being disciplined,
Okay.
waiting for the right deal at the right price.
So they're biding their time.
Exactly.
Interesting.
We're being patient.
So it seems like they're focusing on AI to deal with this pricing pressure.
Right.
And they're being careful about acquisitions.
Yeah.
It's making me wonder what companies they might even be looking at.
Well, if we look at their past acquisitions,
Okay.
they're clearly looking for companies that either boost what they already do
Uh-huh.
or companies that open doors to new markets,
I see.
like their acquisition of Adara a few years ago.
Right.
That really helped their data analytics game.
So maybe they're going after AI companies now.
Possibly. Or companies with a strong presence in Asia.
They've talked about that,
The
right?
Asia Pacific market.
Yeah, Asia Pacific, yeah.
Huge growth potential there.
Makes sense.
They could also be looking to expand their product lineup.
Like how?
Things like revenue management, customer relationship management,
Yeah.
even guest experience technologies.
So they're thinking long term,
Yeah, strategically.
looking for the right pieces to fit into their vision.
Exactly.
Well, they've also highlighted some interesting trends shaping the future of travel.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Like they see a lot of growth in the Asia Pacific region, and leisure travel is still really strong.
Ethanol.
It seems like, even though things are settling down after the pandemic,
Yeah.
people still want to travel.
People are prioritizing experiences,
Exactly.
especially luxury travel,
Interesting.
which presents some unique marketing opportunities.
So you mentioned APAC's growth.
Right.
I think what's fascinating is that RateGain could use its AI to deal with the language barriers in that market.
Oh, yeah, that's a great point.
For hotel bookings and stuff.
Absolutely.
That could give them a huge edge.
For sure, offering multilingual AI-powered booking.
Yeah.
That could set them apart.
Yeah, I think so.
And it plays into their strategy of expanding globally.
For sure.
But they've been hit with some headwinds in the U.S. lately.
Right. They said that was partly because of the election.
Election uncertainty, yeah.
Which makes sense, but it makes me wonder just how much are they relying on the U.S. market?
Well, it is a huge market,
Right.
so any slowdown there is going to have some impact.
Makes sense.
But they have been trying to diversify geographically and putting a lot of focus on APAC, like we said.
That's probably why they're still growing overall.
Exactly. Their business in Europe and APAC is strong, which offsets some of the U.S. challenges.
It's a good reminder to diversify.
Yeah, don't put all your eggs in one basket.
Exactly.
Especially in the travel industry.
And so we see strong performance overall, but with some potential problems.
Some trouble spots.
Yeah, trouble spots.
Yeah.
Let's dive into those risks a little more.
Okay.
What are the specific risks RateGain is facing?
Well, they talked about a few key challenges, like pricing pressure, U.S. market slowdown, and just the general competition out there.
Makes sense.
They actually lost a client to an in-house solution.
Oh, wow.
Which is never a good sign.
No, not good.
So how is RateGain responding to all this?
Right. What are they doing about it?
Well, they're tackling it head on.
Okay.
Investing in sales and marketing.
So trying to sell more.
Yeah, building up their sales team, increasing their marketing efforts.
Okay.
But they're also focusing on product innovation.
Okay.
Leveraging AI to make their products better.
Makes sense.
Meet those evolving customer needs.
Right.
And of course, expanding into new markets.
APAC.
Especially APAC, yeah.
So it sounds like they're hitting these challenges from all angles.
Exactly. Makes sense in such a competitive market.
But this emphasis on AI.
Yeah.
Is it really enough to stand out?
That's the big question, isn't it?
It seems like everybody's doing AI now.
It's true. Everyone's talking about it.
Yeah.
Are they pushing boundaries or just keeping up?
That's what I wonder.
It'll be interesting to watch and see how it plays out.
And investing in APAC is smart.
For sure.
But are there other regions they might be missing?
Oh, that's a good point.
The travel market is global.
It is.
Maybe there are some untapped opportunities they're overlooking.
Yeah, potentially some hidden gems out there.
And speaking of potential,
yeah,
we can't forget about the human element.
Right.
They talked about expanding their sales team.
Yeah.
But how are they going to attract and keep great people?
That's a really good question.
It's a competitive job market.
It is.
And what about their company culture?
Yeah, what's it like to work there?
Do they encourage innovation?
Do they empower people to take risks?
Yeah, that makes a big difference.
Makes or breaks a company sometimes.
Especially in travel tech.
Fast-paced industry.
Fast-paced, yeah.
Yeah.
Definitely something to keep an eye on as we go deeper.
Absolutely.
So we talked about pricing pressure being one of the risks RateGain is facing.
Right. It's coming mainly from their bigger distribution clients.
Like those big hotel chains.
Exactly. The ones with tons of rooms to sell.
So they have more leverage when it comes to price.
Right. They can negotiate harder.
And RateGain is seeing more of these tough conversations.
Yeah, they admitted that.
So how do they deal with that?
They don't always just lower prices.
So what do?
This is where that suite of solutions comes in.
Oh, right. The bundled packages.
Yeah, instead of competing on price for just one product.
They can offer the whole package.
Exactly. And potentially at a higher overall price.
Because it's more value.
Right. It's more than just the sum of its parts.
So it's like, sure, we can give you a discount on that one product.
Yeah.
But why not get this other one too?
Right. This other one that works really well with it.
And it'll help your business even more.
You got it.
So they're positioning themselves as a partner.
Exactly. Not just another vendor.
That's got to help with those relationships.
For sure. Stronger relationships mean less price pressure.
Makes sense. So they're playing the long game here.
Absolutely.
And speaking of the long game,
right,
their acquisition strategy has been pretty quiet.
Yeah, it has.
Especially considering their past successes.
They're just being disciplined.
What do you mean?
They're finding the right deals at the right price.
Not just buying anything.
Right, not just snapping up any company that comes along.
So they're willing to wait.
Exactly. They evaluate potential targets carefully.
And only act when it's the right time.
Makes sense.
That takes patience.
It does.
Especially in such a fast-paced industry.
You're right. A hasty acquisition could backfire.
Yeah, I'm glad they're thinking long-term.
They even said they've walked away from deals.
Really?
Yeah, when the price was good. But their due diligence showed some red flags.
So they're protecting their shareholders.
Exactly. Not making any rash decisions.
Okay. That makes sense. But don't worry. They're not just sitting around doing nothing.
Okay.
Their pipeline is still robust.
So they're actively
looking, talking to prospects.
So it's not a matter of if they'll acquire.
Right.
It's when.
And get this.
What?
They hinted they might even do multiple acquisitions.
Oh, wow.
Quickly, one after the other.
If the right opportunities come up.
So they're ready to pounce.
When the stars align.
Makes you wonder what they're looking for.
Well, if we look at their past acquisitions, like Adara, it's clear they want companies that enhance their offerings.
Okay.
Or companies that open doors to new markets.
Like in the Asia-Pacific region?
Right. They've been talking about growth there.
Or maybe a company with advanced AI capabilities?
Possible.
To boost their existing products?
Exactly.
Or even something completely new.
Like guest experience technologies.
Yeah, that could be a smart move.
Especially with travelers demanding more personalized experiences.
All right, so acquisitions are on the table.
They are.
But let's go back to that U.S. market slowdown.
Okay.
We know election uncertainty played a part.
Yeah.
But how dependent is RateGain on the U.S.?
Well, it's a massive market.
Right.
So any slowdown is going to be felt.
But they are diversifying.
Yeah, geographically.
Especially with that push into APAC.
Which is probably why they're still growing overall.
Even with the U.S. slowdown.
Their business in Europe and APAC is doing well.
So they're picking up the slack.
Exactly. It's a good example of a global strategy.
Don't put all your eggs in one basket.
Exactly.
It's a lesson for anyone in the travel industry.
You have to stay agile.
Adaptable.
Right. Ready for anything.
Now, besides the U.S. slowdown, you mentioned competition.
Yeah.
And losing a client.
Right. They lost a mid-sized hotel chain in Germany.
What happened?
That chain got acquired by a larger U.S. chain.
Yeah.
And the U.S. chain already had its own solution.
For the services RateGain was providing.
Yeah, so they dropped RateGain.
That's rough.
It's industry consolidation.
Bigger companies eating up the smaller ones.
And it's a risk for RateGain.
If those bigger companies have their own solutions,
exactly,
it's something they have to watch out for.
Yeah. Navigate carefully.
But there's a twist. RateGain said the acquiring U.S. company might not be happy.
Really?
With their in-house solution.
Interesting.
So that client could come back to RateGain.
That would be something.
It would show how good RateGain's solutions are.
Compared to the bigger chains.
It's a reminder that relationships matter.
Even with clients you lose.
You never know when a door might open again.
For sure, maintaining those relationships is key.
Especially when you're dealing with pricing pressure.
Which is happening all over travel tech.
They said they're seeing more pricing discussions.
Yeah, negotiations.
Especially from the bigger clients.
The ones with leverage.
So they're trying to hold the line on prices.
Yeah, but they also want to stay competitive.
This is where product innovation comes in.
Absolutely.
If they can offer cutting-edge solutions
that deliver value,
they can justify their prices.
Even in a tough market.
And they seem to be doing that.
They're investing in AI.
To improve forecasting and pricing.
Even marketing effectiveness.
And that AI-powered voice module for RevMax.
Right, handling reservations and customer queries.
That's solving real problems.
And it sets them apart.
So they offer all these products that work together.
Seamlessly.
Powered by AI.
They become an invaluable partner.
And that matters when everyone's watching their costs.
If they can show a clear return on investment, they can justify their prices.
So they're diversifying, making strategic acquisitions.
But focusing on innovation,
delivering value,
is a comprehensive strategy.
What can they pull it off?
That's the question. Execution is key.
We'll have to see how it plays out.
We were also curious about their talent acquisition.
Right. They didn't talk much about that.
How do they attract and keep good people?
Building a good team is so important.
Especially in a field like this.
What about their company culture?
Yeah, do they create a positive environment?
One that draws in top talent.
A company is only as good as its people.
A company is only as good as its people.
Their success depends on a strong team.
We'll have to keep digging to learn more about that.
Okay, so we've talked about their strategy.
The challenges.
Now let's look at their financials.
They reported record revenue.
Yeah.
Strong growth across all segments.
That's great.
But they also guided for slower growth for the year.
Right, because of that lost client.
And the headwinds we talked about.
Makes sense.
So what's the story behind the numbers?
Well, their sales growth in the first half of the year was a bit lower than projected.
But because of the U.S. slowdown?
Yeah, primarily.
But their profit margins have improved.
They have.
Quite a bit, actually.
They said it's because of their SaaS model.
As they grow, most of the revenue goes straight to profit.
Classic operating leverage.
Fixed costs become a smaller percentage of revenue.
Exactly.
So even with slower growth,
their
profitability is better.
It is.
That's good, right?
It gives them more flexibility to invest
In things like product development.
sales and marketing.
They also mentioned their net revenue retention rate.
Oh, yeah, that's a good one.
They said it was 105%.
Impressive.
It shows how good they are at keeping clients.
And selling them more.
105% is really good.
It's crucial for subscription businesses.
It means they're not just keeping customers.
They're making more money from them over time.
That shows customer satisfaction.
And that they're delivering value.
So they're growing, becoming more profitable.
And keeping their customers happy.
That's a pretty good story.
It is. But we can't ignore the risks.
Right, we have to be realistic.
Let's look at the competition.
Okay, what's the competitive landscape like?
It's crowded.
A lot of big players.
And remember how they lost that client to an in-house solution?
Yeah.
That shows competition can come from anywhere.
Companies might build their own capabilities.
Instead of using RateGain.
So how does RateGain stand out?
They're focusing on their AI solutions.
Okay.
They say they provide data-driven insights.
That help their clients make more money.
Exactly.
And they're known for those integrated solutions.
The ones that make things simpler.
But is that enough?
To stay ahead of the competition.
That's the question.
Especially in such a dynamic industry.
Travel tech is always changing.
New technologies are popping up all the time.
So how does RateGain stay innovative?
They're leveraging partnerships.
Okay.
Collaborations.
To stay on top of the trends.
Exactly.
They're also trying to build a culture of innovation.
Internally.
Which is smart.
It is.
But we'll have to see if it's enough.
To stay ahead in the long run.
Yeah, it is a really fascinating question.
So where do we go from here?
Right, we learned a lot about RateGain.
Their performance, their strategy.
The risks and those future trends.
We dug into their financials, their acquisitions.
And their focus on AI and sustainability.
It's complicated, but we found some valuable insights.
And like you said.
Yeah.
Probably more questions than answers.
Well, that's kind of the point, isn't it?
Of exploration, yeah.
It's not about knowing everything.
It's about being curious.
And digging deeper.
So as we wrap up.
Yeah.
What are some key takeaways for our listener?
I hope they have a better understanding of RateGain.
As a company.
How they fit into the world of travel tech.
They're important.
Their story is connected to the whole travel industry.
And it's not over yet.
They have big plans.
It'll be interesting to see what happens.
How they deal with those challenges and opportunities.
I also hope our listener understands how complex travel tech is.
It's fast-paced.
Always changing.
You need to be agile to stay ahead.
And innovative.
And really understand what travelers want.
It's a lot.
But RateGain seems ready for it.
They're taking risks.
Making big moves.
But we have to remember the risks.
That U.S. slowdown.
Competition.
The need to constantly innovate.
It's a lot to handle.
It really is.
Which brings us back to AI.
And the future of travel.
It's going to change everything.
But will it make travel better?
Or worse?
Will it enhance our experiences?
Or detract from them?
That's the question.
We'll have to wait and see.
But it's something to think about.
As AI becomes more and more common.
In the travel industry?
Well, I think that's about it for our deep dive.
Into RateGain Travel Technologies.
It's been a fascinating journey.
I hope our listener enjoyed it.
Thanks for joining us.
Keep exploring.
Keep questioning.
And keep diving deep.
Until next time.